First, find a rock. If you are lucky, that rock will be uranium ore. Crush the ore into fine powder. Mix the crushed ore with sulfuric acid and an oxidizer to acid leach the ore. After leaching, separate the liquid uranium solution from the leftover rock using filtration or settling tanks. Treat the solution with solvent extraction to isolate uranium. Grab some ammonia or hydrogen peroxide you have lying around and add it to the solution to form ammonium diuranate. This will be a yellow powder known as yellow cake. Filter, wash, and dry the yellow cake to remove unwanted chemicals. Heat the yellow cake in a furnace at 700 degrees Celsius with hydrogen to strip away oxygen. This produces black uranium dioxide powder. React the uranium dioxide powder with hydrofluoric acid at 500 degrees Celsius to form uranium tetrafluoride. Expose the uranium tetrafluoride to fluorine gas at 600 degrees Celsius to turn it into uranium hexafluoride gas. This is a volatile compound used for uranium enrichment. Natural uranium is 99.3% uranium-238 and only 0.7% uranium-235. Uranium-238 is not very good at sustaining chain reactions, so we need to increase the uranium-235 concentration to 3 to 5%. Put the uranium hexafluoride into a centrifuge. The heavier uranium-238 will move outward, while the lighter uranium-235 moves inward. Collect the enriched uranium and repeat the process until it reaches the desired enrichment level. React the enriched uranium with hydrogen and water to turn it back into uranium dioxide powder. Compress the uranium dioxide powder into small ceramic pellets and heat the pellets to 1700 degrees Celsius to solidify them. Insert the pellets into a long zirconium alloy tube and seal both ends. Now you have fuel rods. Bundle dozens or hundreds of fuel rods together into a fuel assembly. Each nuclear reactor typically has several hundred fuel assemblies. Arrange the fuel assemblies in a precise grid pattern inside the reactor core. Be sure to leave some space for control rods. Add a neutron moderator like light water to help slow down fast neutrons to make the chain reaction more efficient. Install control rods. These can be raised or lowered to control the power output by absorbing neutrons. Fill your reactor with a coolant like pressurized water, liquid sodium, or carbon dioxide. Add a turbine and connect it to a generator. The heat from the reactor will start to turn the coolant into steam, which will then drive the turbine, spinning it at thousands of rotations per minute, before cooling back into a liquid form using cooling towers, and then getting pumped back into the reactor. Now you have a fully operational nuclear reactor.